Welcome back to another episode here at Sobriety University. On this channel, we discuss addiction and recovery related topics. And in this video, we're going to be talking about some of the benefits and importances of having a hobby or a new habit to replace an addiction. So why I found this important is because when I first got off of drugs and alcohol, I noticed that I had a ton of free time. And looking back, a lot of that free time had been used with the substances, and I kind of didn't realize that at the time of using, just how much time was taken up doing the addiction, whether it be going out to get the substance, calling the dealer, yada yada. And so now I had all this free time. And one might say, like, okay, so that's awesome, like people want free time. Well, in the beginning of addiction, one I found is particularly vulnerable. And what are they vulnerable to? Relapse. And I found that 100%, that kind of the more time I spent just kind of not doing anything, the more likely those thoughts were going to come up, like, hey, maybe it's a good idea to use again. Hey, you've done so well you've taken so much time off. You can use again. Nothing bad is going to happen. And sometimes I would kind of believe those thoughts. And when I did finally quit for good, the difference was I started to replace those times where I would be sitting and doing nothing with a fun activity, a new hobby, a passion, something to kind of keep the mind off the pain of going through the withdrawal period, or just kind of the uncertainty of this new life that I was heading into. And so some of those hobbies that I did were like music. That was a great one. Reading was an awesome one to get into. Tons of like spiritual books and stuff about like how to transcend consciousness or whatever, which can be very helpful when in the beginning days when I was in complete turmoil. Cooking was great too. I wasn't eating very healthy when I was in addiction, and so cooking was a great way to kind of begin to develop that new healthy lifestyle. Working out, so lifting weights was big, getting into running again, all things that I used to do when I wasn't using. Now though, since I had been using, I really had let those things fall to the wayside, and this was a great opportunity to retouch with those again. Something else too that's been really beneficial about finding hobbies and habits is, well, they're just fun. And recovery can be kind of a grind sometimes. That's just honest truth. Like sometimes really don't want to be doing it. And so having a healthy escape, so something I can go to that's going to take the mind off maybe the pain that I'm going through with a certain situation at the moment, it's been very helpful and just kind of help recharge the battery so then I can come back and focus on that issue at hand and not have to worry about burning out or anything like that. Two, like I don't know about you guys, I wasn't having a lot of fun at the end of the days of addiction. Like it was pretty miserable. And so it was really nice to be able to touch back into that fun again and kind of overcome that fear that said you're never going to have fun in sobriety. Like sobriety is going to be boring. You're just going to become a lump on the log and just sit there in a chair until you die. This was a great way to be like, heck no, like I'm going out there, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to kind of explore life again and kind of do all those things that I wanted when I was so deep in addiction. I just obviously was so deep in addiction that it was very hard to kind of see the big picture. So another thing that I found to be very beneficial about finding new hobbies and habits is practicing social skills. So this obviously pertains more to going out and doing group activities. So like meditation groups, support group stuff, like anything like that. There's like kind of certain meetup groups in the area. Personally, I found basketball to be an awesome one. At the gym I go to, there's pickup games going on all the time. And it's just really helped kind of face some of that social anxiety, that fear of maybe not fitting in, the fear of getting rejected, and kind of being able to practice being more assertive, like going up and starting games has been a huge benefit. And just kind of realizing that, yeah, everyone just kind of wants to have fun and play. Like it's not like back in high school where like the cool kids play on one side and the JV kids play on the other. Like everyone just kind of wants to play and have fun. So that's been a huge kind of eye opener. And it's really helped kind of transcend into other areas of life with like personal relationships too. I'm like less afraid to kind of start conversation or just talk about stuff really, because I don't really fear that rejection as much anymore. And when I got into recovery, I had so much anxiety. And a lot of the reasons I was using addiction and drugs and alcohol, sugar, you name it, was to cover up that anxiety. And of course, once I started to let go of the substances, what was left? That anxiety. And so finding hobbies and group activities was a great way to begin to kind of heal that wound. Also too, this can be very helpful in like healing inner child wounds. So again, like with the sports stuff, I had a lot of inner child wounds going back from elementary school of like not getting to play because I wasn't good enough or athletic enough and stuff. And even going up into like middle school and stuff, just not being that in the jock world, I guess. And so this kind of helped kind of realize that like you don't got to be super athletic anymore. Like people aren't going to just dismiss you like they would back when we were kids and stuff. And it's kind of helped heal that part that's been feeling kind of sad that it didn't get to experience some of those things growing up. Also too, I'm able to actually practice and kind of get good at it. I played hockey growing up, and I was terrible, and I was only terrible because I didn't practice or take the time to learn how to be good. I just kind of went off what I thought was supposed to be pure talent, which now I'm learning can only take one so far. And so this way I get to also practice like learning how to do the activity, learning how to play basketball. And that's been quite satisfying, and just kind of seeing these little wins play up over time. And anyway, as you can see, I've just been talking about this so long, I haven't even thought about addiction or relapse. And that's the great thing about it, is it's just something completely new to really dive into and immerse one's mind. So I know music is a big one I like to do as well. That one's been a lot of fun. And I mean, anything really that just kind of touches that inner passion and excitement. One word of warning is that I found that sometimes these passions and new hobbies, I can exhibit some addictive tendencies with them. So I'm just noticing that it's important to be aware of when I'm kind of maybe overdoing it or kind of thinking about it too much. And that's really a good time to kind of step back and do something else and maybe go to work or something. And so again, it's not like this is a cure-all to addiction. Addiction's going to sneak in wherever it can. It's a rascal, and it likes pleasure, so it's always something to keep the mind out. However, that being said, I would rather have those addictive tendencies come up with maybe sports or something like that, rather than like, the intense stuff that's going to really cause big consequences. So with that, guys, I think that's going to be the end of this video. Feel free to comment below what hobbies and habits you've done that have kept you clean and off the streets. And I'm sure a lot of people would like to know. I would like to know. And other than that, really appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day, and talk to you soon. Peace.